Welcome to a LeanStacks instructional video. This video is part of the Spring Boot series. In this video, we build upon the greeting web services, constructing a business service application layer to manage the greeting entities. If you've watched the previous videos in the Spring Boot series, this will be familiar to you. For those who have not, let's take a moment to walk through the greeting controller class. The controller contains methods annotated by @request mapping. Each of these methods is a RESTful web service endpoint. At the top of the class, we created temporary helper methods to serve as a placeholder until we integrate with a Spring Data repository in a future video. Let's get started. I've opened the sample Spring Boot application in the Spring Tool Suite. Let's create a new package named org.example.ws.service. Within that package, create a new interface named Greeting Service. Within the Greeting Service interface, we define the public business service methods, which we want to expose to clients of the service. The greeting service encapsulates all business logic on greeting entities. Therefore, we will define methods to create, find, update, and delete greeting entities. Now that the interface is complete, let's create the service implementation class. Create a new class named Greeting Service Bean that implements the Greeting Service interface. Annotate the class with @service. When the application starts, Spring scans the application classes and automatically manages classes annotated with @service. Now, let's move the helper methods from the greeting controller to the greeting service bean. This is going to cause some compilation errors in the controller, but we'll fix those in a moment when we wire the controller to the greeting service. We need to change the name of the delete helper method to remove because we've defined a public method named delete on the greeting service. Let's begin adding the logic to the public business service methods. Essentially, this is the same logic which was within the body of the mapped controller methods. We're migrating this temporary data access logic from the web service controller layer of the application to the business service layer of the application. I'm going to copy and paste the logic from the controller methods into the business services, and afterward, I'll refactor the controller to use the business service methods. One by one, I'll take the logic from the controller method and paste it into the corresponding business service method. Now that the business logic has been migrated to the greeting service, let's integrate the controller and service. First, use the auto-wired annotation to tell Spring to inject an instance of greeting service into the controller class. Always use the interface type for dependency injection rather than the implementation class. This follows the programming by contract model and ensures that only the public methods exposed by the greeting service interface are available to the service client. Next, let's replace the logic within the mapped controller methods with calls to the appropriate greeting service behaviors. Let's run the application and see our hard work in action. Open a terminal window and change directory to the project base directory. Type mvn Spring Boot run to start the embedded Apache Tomcat server on port 8080. Next, I'm going to open my RESTful web service client and test the greeting web services. I expect to see the same responses since I've not altered the business logic but simply relocated it to the business service application layer. First, I'll test finding all greetings and a single greeting. Then I'm going to create a new greeting. It has a primary key identifier, number 3. Next, I'm going to update a greeting. Notice that the greeting text is changed. Finally, I'll delete a greeting. And when I retrieve all greetings again, the greeting has been removed from the collection. In this video, we demonstrated how to create business service components and inject them into client components. Creating a dedicated business service layer within applications is crucial. It promotes high cohesion or separation of responsibility within the application. It also increases the reusability and maintainability of your application components. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the LeanStacks YouTube channel to receive updates as new videos are published. As always, you can find more information on LeanStacks.com.